Hi everyone, welcome to ZV NFT. I just came back from a run, so I am feeling good right now. I thought I would spend a little bit of time stepping back from just narrowly talking about NFTs and putting it in some cryptocurrency context, meaning talking about Bitcoin and about Ethereum. It's difficult to understand the entire ecosystem if you don't understand what Bitcoin is and what Ethereum is and how exactly they work. That took me a while to wrap my head around, and as I'm looking at all these stories about Ukraine, I'm seeing various news stories and headlines and analysis about cryptocurrencies being sent to support Ukraine through wallets on Ethereum and in Ether, the cryptocurrency Ethereum, the blockchain uses. And I'm also seeing how Russian oligarchs, how Russians that are being sanctioned are looking for ways to put their money into Bitcoin and then moving that Bitcoin into exchanges and then liquidating that currency into fiat money that they can use. So it made me realize that let's spend a little bit of time sharing with you how I learned what's Bitcoin, what's Ethereum, what on earth is going on. So let's go. I'm going to talk you through some of the notes I wrote for myself a few months back. Okay, so Bitcoin. There are three things to understand about Bitcoin, at least how I have absorbed it. The first is that it's about decentralized money. Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer cash electronic system. So the banks, the government, any kind of middleman, it's out. It's just you and someone else, and there's an immediate and direct transaction. Okay, point one, decentralized money. The second point to share with you is that there is an open ledger with Bitcoin and across this blockchain, right? So what happens is a transaction is made and no one computer or central entity owns it only. You have a bunch of different computers that keep a copy of the transaction and they are constantly updating it. So the computers themselves record the transaction. I make to you, I give you $5, peer-to-peer, decentralized money, right? Then the computers go, oh, there's an exchange. Let's record it onto the blockchain and prove that this has happened and it is transparent. And anyone in the whole world can go and look and see who is sending what to whom. This is a concept known as proof of work. So when I send money, right, all these computers start going ding, 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 right? They're all working and they are competing to confirm the hash of that transaction. Once a computer wins it, boom, all the other computers go ding, 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 and they confirm the transaction. Right? So that is what is known as proof of work, right? It's a really important concept, and it has been the core of what blockchain is all about. A lot of people have criticized proof of work because all these computers are fighting to win the competition and get rewarded, and it uses up a lot of energy. That's not good for the environment. So that's where you hear that argument about Bitcoin. The other important thing is that there are miners. So these computers that are working are called they're called nodes, and the entity that runs them, whether it's a person, a group, a company, they're called miners. I can have some computers in my home running and mining Bitcoin. I can do that. People have massive warehouses with thousands of computers operating and mining Bitcoin, right? So these miners are essentially rewarded in Bitcoin for every transaction they confirm on the blockchain. And the other key thing that I've learned about Bitcoin is that it's considered a store of value. So kind of like how you may buy gold, right? Bitcoin is often compared to being just like a store of value, which is equivalent to gold. The other thing is you can't counterfeit it. It's an open ledger. It is confirmed on the blockchain. You can't fake it. That's a big argument about the benefits of Bitcoin, and that there are only 21 million Bitcoins in the entire world. So the supply is limited. This is how I understand Bitcoin. And when you are watching the news and you are looking at what is happening with Bitcoin and why governments are concerned that oligarchs or people that they want to sanction are moving their money into Bitcoin, it's because they can just create a wallet, they can move fiat money into Bitcoin, and there's an anonymity with it as well. And you can just start trading and moving money in and out and then converting it to the currency that you want to use it in ultimately. So that's why you're seeing this in the headlines a lot, okay? One of the biggest mistakes I made at the beginning of my whole crypto journey was that I thought Bitcoin and Ethereum were the same thing. And I realize now that they are absolutely not. They're totally different. Let me spend a little bit of time now talking about Ethereum. Ethereum's goal is to totally decentralize the internet, where you can do so many things and there is no third party. It's very ambitious, but what we're seeing in this space is pretty exciting. Think of Ethereum as the supercomputer of the whole world, and people can connect to one another through this very powerful supercomputer. Think of it as a layer 1, which is what it's called, a DIY, do-it-yourself platform, and you can build stuff on it, right? So there's Ethereum, the blockchain, and you and me and your friends and your brother and whoever, they can build basically anything on top of Ethereum. They're called dApps, decentralized applications, and that's like encompasses everything. You can do decentralized finance on it, you can do NFTs, you can do gaming, you can build metaverses. Just think of it as a foundation, a base layer, right? Foundation of a house, you build up. Makeup foundation, I know I should probably have put a bit more effort into this. Foundation, add a little blush, add a little mascara. That's kind of what Ethereum is. And people come in and they learn the program and the code that Ethereum works with, one of which, the predominant one, is called Solidity. And people can write smart contracts. So when you think of Ethereum, think supercomputer of the world, smart contracts, okay? They are self-executing contracts. You do not need a middleman. If you want to go make any kind of a transaction and you go to a blockchain like Ethereum, there's no middleman. It's direct, it's peer-to-peer, it self-executes a contract. It is strict to the letter of what that contract says. The blockchain will make sure that it's adhered to. When there's a transaction, it's immutable, which means you can't undo it because it's done, right? And the contract is essentially secured. It deploys the program that was written on it, and it executes. So Ethereum is a blockchain. Ether, or ETH, is the cryptocurrency that sits on top of Ethereum. So all of these transactions that happen, they cost a little bit of money. So Ether was basically invented so that miners would get paid for the tasks that they do. And anything that is transacted on the Ethereum blockchain, and NFTs is basically the main the main entity, or the main item, the asset class, I should say, that runs on Ethereum. So most of what you're transacting is going to be in Ether, the currency, right? So these are really important aspects to understand about Ethereum. One of the big conversations going around this year in the crypto community, the blockchain community, is about ETH 2.0, right? This is where the Ethereum blockchain moves from a consensus mechanism called proof of work to proof of stake. Proof of stake is really important because rather than all the computers competing to confirm a transaction using loads of energy, the proof of stake idea is that the code is written and the algorithm is written in such a way that you get selected. If you are an Ethereum miner, you're chosen to confirm that transaction. And that is really good for the environment because now all the computers are not dinging away, fighting each other to compete and make that transaction. It's a lot more efficient. ETH 2.0 is also promising scalability, a lot faster speed as well. The speed right now is something like 15 transactions per second are getting confirmed on the blockchain, and that's way too limiting for what's going on. You really want to be in the thousands of transactions per second. The reason that that's critical is that because there's so much congestion on the Ethereum blockchain, that means the gas fees are pretty high. So if you go to OpenSea, you want to buy an NFT, it might cost you 1 ETH, right? Or say it costs $200, the equivalent of fiat money. You might end up paying gas fees because there's just so much congestion in the entire ecosystem. You may pay $50 gas fee, $100 gas fee. So it doesn't make sense for you to buy the NFT that's $200 and you're spending $100 in gas. So that's been something very challenging for the NFT community, is how to get around these gas fees. And there have been some very innovative ways to do that. But this is a critical factor in understanding why it's so important to move to ETH 2.0. The other thing is that it increases interoperability, which means it can work across different blockchains. Right? So it's easier to adopt. So think about Wi-Fi. So years ago, you'd go somewhere and it'd be like, do you have Wi-Fi? And it would be very exciting when the person does, or the place or the cafe. Now you go everywhere and, everywhere has Wi-Fi. So that's like a significant adoption of this idea of wireless that we've embraced in the world. And so ETH 2.0 is seeking to increase this idea of interoperability. You can go anywhere, you can be on this blockchain or that blockchain, and things can work between one another and they're not so siloed. So the move to proof of stake from proof of work is going to be critical, and the idea of that consensus mechanism will be using less energy and will be better for the environment is important for you to know. And the other thing, just to re-summarize, is the scalability factor. So look out for ETH 2.0, and when that eventually happens, everyone's hoping it's this year, then there's an expected, mooning, a pump that Ethereum is going to see. So people that believe in this are buying a lot of Ethereum. I'm doing that. I'm really investing in ETH because I believe that it will pay off when ultimately there's a move to ETH 2.0. I hope that all made sense. It made sense to me. Tell me if it made sense to you. If you have any questions and you've just got basic stuff even, just don't be shy, okay? Ask me, and it'll probably be good for me to also go and refresh my memory or learn along with you. Please just put the questions or the comments down below. I would love to hear from you. That would be really great. Very cool. And please subscribe to this channel. Would love that. And if you liked this and you found it informative, please hit the like button as well. It helps me with YouTube and all that. And, I'm also learning new things and reinventing different platforms and different spaces for myself. That's it for ZV NFT, and I will see you again soon. Take it easy, okay?